Hello, it's Friday and we're down on the allotment. It's grey and
It's been drizzling on and off whole day.
we're hoping for better weather tomorrow. But Malgosia's going to take you on a tour of the allotment as it is today to see how much everything has grown in the last week.
In the last month, really.
The peas and beans, the asparagus are delightful, and everything seems to be really green, especially the stinging nettles. So I'll hand you over to Malgosia, who will tour the allotment with you.
So hello, let's do the tour, mid-May tour. And we start with the polytunnel. So here are the planted tomatoes. They seem to be doing really well. These still need to be planted. Quite few more, but I've got a couple of days off next week, so I'm hoping to do more then. And this is the old bit of the allotment. I'm very pleased to say that we have not lost the fig tree. It's just sprouting buds, and I did worry that we might. We've got some carrots here, and I try to do this slowly. Some of the dahlias that I planted the other week, I think last week, they are starting to sprout shoots, so that's brilliant. Look at the size of the peas. So that's a Sweet Horizon peas, and this is spinach, and we're going to be harvesting some of the spinach tomorrow for my vegetarian wraps. And some of the lettuces, different lettuce types. So all of this is doing really, really well. In this little bed we've got parsley and kohlrabi. I think elephant garlic, not harvested last year. Lots of weeds, more parsley, self-sown this time. It looks stronger than the one from the seeds. And some more lettuces and few radicchio, which looks like they're starting to heart. In here we had some damage by snails, so I've replanted the kale on this side. There is rab, again slightly damaged, but it's doing well. And right in the middle of this bed are radishes. There's a basic red radishes, I can't remember the name of them. And there is 3 little Swedes I filled in. The primo cabbages unfortunately did not survive. Well, this bed is, I would like to say, is ready for the beans, but obviously we have not covered that with sterile compost, and that's what happens. But I will be weeding it while we're planting the beans once they fully germinate. So behind us we've got shallots, and these are the gourmet ones, the very basic ones, I think. And these are dividing very nicely. And this is my hardneck garlic. So it's better than last year, I would say, definitely. No matter how much I weed, we seem to always get the oxidases here. And there is some verbascum, not verbascum. Oh, I will remember what that is. Anyway, or I put it up. I can't look in my head and remember that right now. And I will be pulling them out as soon as they have the flowers. I might put flowers in the home, in my house, in our house. Sorry. So we've got some more of the rab. They're going into flower, so they Sima di Rappa really. And there's 5 cauliflowers, and they actually surviving. So, and grown a little bit. I can see there is some bindweed in the middle as well. and some self-sown rocket. So that's on a list of things to do. The bed here is looking really lush. Let me just show you in a full glory. We've got the alliums starting to flower, and that's, I think, self-sown. Not the most attractive, but nonetheless, that's the what do you call them? I'll remember. There is some zinnias wanting to go in, and amongst all this love in a mist, they are actually cosmos, which are doing really well. They're very similar leaves, but I can see which one is a cosmos and which one is love in a mist. Some irises, in fact lots of irises. I have a feeling that in a week this bed will be a riot of irises. Lupin, the various verbascums I have here, more irises, some surprise allium, some salvias, and here we come to the first of the tomato beds, and that is Crimson Crush. Is doing perfectly fine. I haven't supported it yet. They don't really need support us yet. They're doing very well, in fact, and so do the companion planting, the marigolds and the borage. This is my Provençal garlic, intersown with carrots. So that's in the middle, like this one will be elephant garlic, but these are all the Provençal garlic, and they look spectacularly well. I don't know what went on here, but these divide themselves, managed to divide themselves. A slightly different variety, and this is more of the very big looking, very healthy looking garlic. Okay, so this is the last bed in this part of the allotment, and this one is mainly San Marzano. I now have the little collars, not yet supported by bamboo sticks, but that will come within the next week or so, and it's looking rather well. I have lost the plants I had in that sink over the winter, so I've just planted some pansies and soft fruit bed. Well, the fruit are starting to form. I don't know if you can see that. And there's loads more flowers. These are actually the red. These are red currants, but these, which are sort of slightly more advanced, are black currants, which I absolutely love. We both love. Yum yum cassis and black currant jam. And these are the gooseberries. It looks like we're going to have a bumper crop of gooseberries. As we walk past here, we have some strawberries in flower, and these are the grown from seeds alpine strawberries. Loads of basic lettuce, some Swiss chard. I actually really need to do some sowing here, and unfortunately pak choi has gone to seed now. Well, there are obviously casualties. Look at this bed, nothing in there, but we're not perfect. The raspberries are doing well, lots of flowers, but I won't say anything because I said something last year, and believe you me, the disaster did happen with the drought and so on. So I'm being a little bit superstitious. We made a really good progress on building the cabbage bed, and it's high time. It's our really priority because we have things wanting to come out. They are actually at the moment in a little greenhouse I have at home, so they're not here. I think I have my my arch now out of the thornless blackberry. Things are flowering here, so again, all things being well, we might expect a bumper crop. Masses of weeding going this way. It will be very interesting. I will be uncovering this bed because I've got had some spectacular dahlias here, but I can see that some of them trying to come up. So obviously we do have some did survive. So we'll be doing that next week, and some alliums and just spectacular nettles. I mean, if there were prices for nettles, if any of the shows wanted anybody exhibit nettles, I think we could go for a world championship. Now, this is Angelica and it's flowering. I love Angelica, it's such a pretty plant. This area, where we let it, it's quite a few volunteer potatoes, but I'm not worried terribly about that. This is going to go on the polytunnel, which we will be putting up in June. One of the pear trees, I looked at my May allotment tour from last year. You see, I don't think any of these will survive. These are all going to go. Don't know if we're going to have any pears this year, and definitely nothing on this tree because it all got frosted, but other things didn't. So that's a strange thing. The cabbages, overwintered cabbages, are flowering. I'm sure lots of insects love that. And we have carrots and beetroot growing very nicely in those pots. This is because I never managed to get beetroots to grow because of the rodents. So hopefully that will give them a better chance. Very nicely, the other little strawberries I planted, which were attacked by the rabbits, they actually coming back. Some of them have flowers, and this is sorrel. It's obviously been munched a little bit by snails and slugs, but I'm sure they will recover and give us a lovely crop. Now, all the tulips in the flower beds are gone. I can see some gladiolas coming through, and we will be planting annual things in this, annual flowers in this bed very soon. Well, we've been harvesting asparagus bed to death. I never had so much asparagus in my life. I am gloating here, let's be honest. And it's coming and it's coming and it's coming. I'm serving lovely pasta salad with mainly asparagus and some saffron and some pancetta this week, and we had masses. I harvested masses of the asparagus for that purpose. And you know, every crown we look at just see needs to be weeded. I am aware of that, and we will. That's the Bramley apple, looking very pretty. These are the later planted potatoes coming from underneath of the hay mulching. So what we've got here, we've got some onions. And I planted some little onions. Almost you can't see them. These were from seeds. I only had few. And I also planted some more swede. Is it swede or turnip? I'm not quite sure. However, the jury is out if they're going to survive or not. More. This is actually spring onion. Different spring onions in various rods. This is from Ramrod to let me just turn around so I can actually read the labels. white Lisbon and red Lilia. So here they are. You can almost see by the base of them, they kind of red. The last surviving artichoke. These are the peas from Val and Bill. I know Bill mentioned that the Ne Plus Ultra is very, very tall, so we will have to give a different support very soon. Some Cavallo Nero, and this is the Welsh walking onion right at the end. A couple of leeks still surviving from last year. Another bed of asparagus, again needs weeding, but is producing fantastically well. I would have to say it's probably my favorite crop at the moment, in a sense that if I had to pick something I would definitely plant in any allotment and garden I have, it would be asparagus. So we have a little bit of woodruff here, which is companion planting for any kind of celery. We've got celery here and celeriac between here and the broad beans. Now broad beans, I've got not grano violetto, I have masterpiece green because my grano violetto did not survive, and I have crimson flowered, and it's looking really good. I'm very pleased, and this bed suits it probably better than the other beds last year. I have peas starting to actually climb because they it takes them forever to start going, but I think that is a sign that they will. Bed ready for cucumbers and sunflowers, that is got to happen very soon. Another bed of tulips, again is the last of the great lovely tulips that we had in here. A couple of alliums which survived winter. We're always battling the nature here. Just look at the nettles, and although I love some of that, and we will never be short of them, this bed is going to go on the cardboard this summer. Well, I don't know if I'll be planting something on top or not yet. This is one of the apples which did survive. I have an example here of one which didn't. We lost 1, 2, including there is right at the end there behind this second flower bed, there was an apricot tree, and that was a beautiful example of an apricot tree, and it just didn't survive, so that's quite upsetting. Now here, that was my wild garden area, so it's less stinging nettles, but other things, but now everything else have basically taken over here completely. This is the 2 rhubarbs, which are hardly visible, and it happens every year. I will, the next sort of project is around here to make sure that we actually can use this beet, because it still gets sun. Some of the space we have here does not get so much sun. And these are the potatoes. Sorry, same group, but not the same thing. These are the potatoes. I would say all of them grew very well under the mulching of hay. I planted them sometime in March, I think around mid-March. So, they're looking really good. I will be checking my hives next week on a nice sunny day, if one arrives. And there's a couple of jobs we need to do with the hives, but I'm just waiting for a better weather. Now, in the greenhouse, Nigel has been kind enough and sown some climbing beans and some runner beans, and I can see they're swelling now because I can see there's a movement in there. So hopefully we will have some soon. We still have tomatoes. Some of them I'm hopefully going to give away this weekend. We have a second sowing of peas, and this is the peas which had, sort of a bit strange germination, but there is, Nigel did put some extra seeds, and now this is growing fine. I can't remember what he put in. We've got turnip germinating there, and I sown some more artichokes. These are my melons germinated. So I lost one due to me being heavy-handed, but in fact out of 12 seeds I've planted, I had 11 germinating in a very basic compost. So it's a bit, my compost I use looks like this, and it's from the local horse and hound sort of shop, a local sort of place where people buy things for the horses and stuff. And it looks like a wood chip some sort, really very fine, but it's fine, doesn't have big bits, and everything germinated this year very, very well. Right behind those tomatoes we have some leeks, and now you can see that my sunflowers definitely want to come out. These are various squashes and cucumbers and pumpkins. We'll talk about it more about what it is while I'm going to be planting. That's the basket flower. What was it? Flower, basket flower. Yes. I've got one. I put 4 seeds. 2 germinated. 1 is doing well. These are the Sarah Raven's crimson tree spinach. That's doing fine. All the salvias and so on are doing also okay. So I'm gonna come and show you some other things which we have still not managed to do very well. I've lost 2 out of my 4 blueberries, but this one seems to be in flower and this one isn't very much. We managed to get proper path to the end of the plot. What we have not managed is to layer this area to be able to do anything past this stinking nettles. It's just a sea of them basically. So this is what we managed last year, and I don't think that this year we're going to manage much more. So all this jungle has to wait till next year, and we've got some leaves on some cotinus I planted last year, and I can't really see for the life of me any of my yellow strawberries. So, well, life is not going to be boring. This is the pot with the horseradish. We have lots of horseradish here, but you would have to dig, and really neither me or Nigel willing to do that, so we put some in a pot. So I think that is probably it from us. I'm gonna close the polytunnel because we are leaving. Through the wilderness, if they had, 36 hours, we would be in better shape. But as things as they are, we're still pretty okay. We had some other area which we're gonna grow this year, which has been laid out with plastic just to keep the weeds down, and we will be growing in hay. And we have some pots ready for various squashes and pumpkins, and there is some more on the back. So I think I'm going to look for Nigel and we're going to say goodbye.
Well, I hope you enjoyed that. We're going to be otherwise engaged this weekend because it's Margosha's 60th birthday, and we're partying tomorrow, and we're lunching at Le Manoir on Sunday. There's a treat. So I'll hand you over to Malgosia, who will tell you all the exciting things that you've seen. So it's goodbye from me.
And it's goodbye from me.
Bye. Have a good week.
Bye.
Bye.